everybody. I just want to give you guys an update as to what's been going on. Sorry about the sound level on this. For whatever reason, I did an update on my phone. Ever since then, when I flip the camera around, the volume of my whatever I'm recording goes down significantly for some reason, or it muffles it. I did a nice one on my laptop, but I can't get the footage I have on here of the update around here onto my laptop for some reason. Everything else is there but that video, probably because I accidentally erased it, and then I did recover it, but for some reason it doesn't show up in the iCloud, so it probably will in a couple days or something. But I wanted to get this video out, so I want to give a big thank you to 3 people. First, of course, Sparky 107 and BNSF 6951 and Tom's Trains and Things. Thank you, all of you, for donating the proceeds from your live stream to me. I really appreciate that. I didn't ask for that. I just made a video to show everybody that what was going on, and that I wouldn't probably be doing much on the layout for a while. You know, I knew Sparky probably would say something, but because it brought back memories for him and his flood, but I didn't expect anything out of it. I certainly didn't expect Vinny and Tom to do what they did, or even Sparky for that matter. These are all great guys in the community that we're in, and when Vinny and Sparky and all of them say we truly are a family, that is correct. You know, we helped Vinny out to get to his mom's funeral. Of course, when Sparky had his flood, everybody, you know, we all pitched in and helped him as well. So it's just part of what this community does for each other. And we've done a lot of work down here over the last couple weeks, as I explained in the video. My wife really spent 5 days down here cleaning everything up, and it's what Sparky had said, I think, in his live chat, was just the dirt you get off the floor and stuff that washes in. And it just took a while to get that. Plus, I had to dig a big hole for a sump pump well down there as well, which you all saw and I talked about. What really happened was a chain of events. You know, it rained a lot. My storm drain was full. The ground was saturated with water, and apparently we had a couple clogged downspouts I did not know about. When I cleaned the gutters, I didn't know down about halfway they were clogged, so water really wasn't draining off the roof, and it was probably coming down the cracks of the foundation pretty good too. So that did add to the saturation around the house, which didn't help. And then the water just kind of followed our main drain in and it was coming from the ground, because the ground underneath was so saturated, way deep down too. So it just kept pouring in and pouring in and pouring in. So the really only option was we dug our well, or we dug a hole for the pump and put that in there. So the drain and everything, it got covered up. It was just full of stuff, so it never worked anyway, apparently, and I didn't know that. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody, and you know, it covered a lot. It just went towards the cost of everything. You know, getting new rugs down here, this dehumidifier, you know, going towards the water heater. The water heater was the biggest expense, and you know, don't count the time that you put in to cleaning it up. I missed a couple days, and my wife took a week off, so it was just a lot to get done, but we got it done, and you'll see in the video, I think we got rid of some stuff, but in the end it actually made this down here cleaner. It is drier now because the new downspouts and everything's clean, and the water's going away from the house, so it for the better things turned out, and I'm really happy with how clean it is down here. So I just got to do my work and keep it up down here, so it stays clean. But I just want to say again, thank you to everybody. Thank you to Vinny, Sparky, Tom. Cannot say enough for everybody that really contributed. Thank you as well. I know it was Ralph Greenwood, Kevin Brown, Container Man, Jack, I think did. There are just so many people. It goes on and on, but I really can't say enough. Outside of this community, most of the friends that I have outside of a couple people from work or my past job come from this community. Kevin Brown I made friends with was from this community, so we talk a lot to everybody all the time, and it is like a family. So really, this is probably the best group of friends anybody could have is in this community, and that's the truth. So I thought I would say that and do a nice video and give you guys an update on what's been going on. Also, there's been some changes in me for work. I kind of do something a little different now. So my hours changed, which is good because I get to leave earlier, so I should be home in time to have enough time like I normally do when I start at 6:30. I should be able to start at 6 now for On Track Tuesday because I'll be home around 5:30, so that gives me time to get set up and stuff on my Tuesday show. So that'll be good, and I'll be on time with everybody else. So I just thought I'd share that too before I forget about that till later on next month or later on this month when it's my turn here in June. So guys, once again, thank you very much, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I really appreciate everybody's help. Thanks again, guys. Okay, this is the update from the flood. As you can already see, it's cleaned up and dried out, and took a lot of hard work to get this done. My wife literally took a week to spend down here getting this cleaned up. As Sparky said, the worst part is getting all the dirt out of here and off the floor to clean up to get back to normal. So let's start out here. You see we got our rugs back. That was good to have. These are the same rugs we used to have, a couple like this, and I had old rugs here on the layout, but these are nicer, thinner rugs from Menards, and they cover a lot. They're like an industrial type, cheap industrial type rug, and it's looks a lot nicer down here. The floor is clean. Of course, everything here was good. Washer and dryer made it. We went through and threw a lot of stuff out. As you can see, those paint cans were old cans. I've got to slowly get rid of those. Everything's pretty much in totes that isn't metal or wood that can't be dried out or saved. So we'll start here with the holes. You can see that's a new dehumidifier. That one was a little more expensive, but it is bigger, so that helps, and it goes down into where the drain used to be. We'll get to that in a minute. Here's the new water heater. When we did get water, it went up above into the bottom part here. All that electrical was wet. You couldn't even get it out to dry. It was just so bad. So it was pretty much shot at that point, which sucks because it was only like 4-year-old water heater. So and that was probably one of the bigger items here that after the flood we had to get. And then came this here where the drain used to be. So the only way we could got that water out was pump it out the window, and we had to dig this well down to do it. And it took a good 6 hours, 7 hours to pump out that water. Some pump is down in there now. It comes up, it's attached, runs out down here and goes out over there by the air conditioner lead like it should. Then it goes out into the street alongside the back side of the house along the gutter out to where it'll drain out nicely. This is where the air conditioner came out. It's now draining nicely into where the sump pump will pump it out. this right here, where the drain used to be, once we got into it, we realized the collar on it was broke and had been broken for some time. And it went down, it goes down about a couple feet and then comes back up and connects to our main drain, which is literally right here. Just basically right next to where the original drain was. And so what happened was nothing came up through the drain because it was clogged. Dirt got in it and clogged the upper part of it, probably down to the trap, and has been clogged for who knows how long. Just from where that collar was broken around it, all the dirt around it has fallen into it. So that trap keeps the dirt from getting in the main drain, but that part of it, the first part on down, was completely clogged with dirt. So it never worked anyway. When I thought I was pouring something down there, the ground was just absorbing it. So when the AC would run, sometimes it would get like high, and then I put a little Drano, and all that was doing was just making a little path for it to go down farther enough to where it went down. So it was pretty much clogged. So we dug out this well, dug out a space for it. We had a small leak in our drain, the main line out. Fixed that. Where the drain was, cleaned that out somewhat and basically sealed it off. And it sealed off. It was doing nothing to begin with. So it got concreted over. It's all sealed up. Pretty much our drainage comes out of here through the sump pump. Like a lot of bigger houses, newer houses do this as well. They don't necessarily have a drain, they have this, and it pumps it out the side of the house. There's gravel around here, there's gravel in the bottom of that, and the sump pump sits on it. So if it comes in from the ground, that's where it's going to come at, and that's where my problem was. It had followed our main drain in. It was just so saturated that it just kept coming in and coming in and coming in because it had rained so hard so much, and there was several factors that led to that, which I'll talk about in the intro when I do that here in a minute. But that's it. That was where the main problem was, and so that's where it was coming in at, right around the drain. It blew out the drain because it just followed it right on in, and it blew out the old part of the drain completely. Because, like I said, part of it was already broken, been broken for years. You just didn't know it because that grate sat on top of it. And also some issues outside contributed to it as well, but we took care of those. So we'll continue on, and of course this all got cleaned up, and this does not get damp down here a little bit anymore because we got some new gutters. There's a little bit of dampness there, but nothing like there used to be. Eventually we'll get some concrete under there, some hydraulic stuff, and probably try to do that along the edges here. We'll do a little work still outside to help that. Maybe there's a couple cracks in the brick will get fixed, and that may cure that. But it's a lot better than it was before, just by having new gutters and stuff like that. So of course those are leftover totes. We threw a lot of stuff out. If you remember from some of my previous videos, this is some of my stuff that was saved. Some of the old football, baseball cards. That's what I got left out of thousands of them, but a lot of the better ones that I wanted to keep, I was able to keep some of them and dry them out. Some of them were actually just perfectly saved. So that was great. This was all up die cast. This is all stuff that was dry, didn't get lost. And of course those are boxes that we put our craft stuff in. My wife has some stuff in there, and I got some more cards in that little box there. And I got rid of some of my stuff here. In my totes where I used to keep my car, I have just what I need to fix. And then I have another shoebox somewhere of old cars that I will eventually try to get rid of, or maybe pawn off on an On Track Tuesday show, just for a drawing for somebody that wants them. So, but under the layout, as you can see,
There's no more totes, and there's stuff stored in boxes. And, that stuff's gone. There's just my wet vac, shop vac, bucket, and the tote with my scenery stuff in it, and that stayed dry. And of course, that's a good tote, so it'll continue to stay dry. This is good. This stayed. We'll eventually put a shelf in here for this, because when I came down here, this was going like this, and that was still on top, but it did not fall in the water. None of this fell in the water. This corner way back there is completely dry. There's no stuff under here. This shelf, of course, is all now completely cleaned off. Some of my older paint I got rid of. This is basically the stuff that I use. There's my isopropyl water. The cord goes back to my dad. And so, yeah, that got all cleaned up. And so this corner has been staying dry. It used to get a little bit, but since new gutters and stuff run out farther, this has really stayed dry in this corner. So, which is great. And go on to here. The freezer did not get water in the compressor or the motor because it's all up higher up in there in the little box. So it still runs fine. So great news there. Our shelves now, we just replaced what we had here before. I actually got a shelving system, so that was good to store stuff on, our water and stuff like that. Christmas tree. The two Christmas trees we had, one came from my mother-in-law, bought for my wife a couple years ago because she just wanted to, and so it kind of has it has a special meaning, and it did not get too wet, so we wanted to get it out of a box. And this is a big, it's in there. This is a pretty big tree. It's in there, and that is a pretty thick, like plastic container that's waterproof. So I mean, it has to sit on the floor, but it's waterproof, so it keeps moisture out. And that's something else we had to get to protect our Christmas trees. You saw the red one when I showed you around a minute ago. So that's the other tree. And of course, over here we cleaned out a lot of stuff, and there's just a coffee table where we keep dog food up, and of course some stuff and totes is all on that shelf as well. And some of the stuff that could get wet is way up high. And right there is my wife's willow tree set. That's a very good tote, by the way. It's a very thick Rubbermaid, expensive one. It's huge, but that's pretty much an area that stays dry anyway. It shouldn't never get that wet again, hopefully. Keep fingers crossed, but everything we did should keep us from getting water. And that tote stayed, and it's a good tote. So, and of course, cleaned up my toolbox, cleaned it off, the dirt off of it, went through it and organized it, organized my tools, organized this cabinet, pretty much the stuff up there, which is some screws and miscellaneous hardware. Cleaned the top of my workbench, and then I actually did clean my workbench off, and of course underneath. So went through a lot of stuff, and of course it had to go. So pretty much next time if that ever happens, or we get a little water, everything on the ground should be good, other than probably have to replace these rugs again, but these aren't too expensive. I think they're $15 a piece at Walmart, or not Walmart, Menards. And these are easier to get out too if they get wet, unlike my other rugs I had here were thick and heavy. So that's it, guys. I gave some big shout outs to everybody who sent money into the 3 live chats. I really appreciate it, guys. It helped, as I'll explain in the intro, it helped cover a lot of the costs to get this cleaned up, and after it got cleaned up. So I really can't say enough about this community and how great you guys are. So thanks again, and there will be a layout update in the future. I plan to start getting back now that everything's nice down here. I did go to Hobby Shop. Hobby Lobby here is open, and I think a couple of hobby shops I want to check out in our area are open again. Now things are starting to open, so before they close again, and they will, I'm gonna try to get down there and get some stuff. I got some stuff to do some projects here, so that will be in some upcoming updates for sure, guys. So thank you again, and please like, subscribe, comment. This time I will get back to your comments. I haven't on the 2 previous videos because I've been busy with everything. So thank you very much, guys.